Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 22. Numbers have been sent out. That is your macros. Cardio stays the same. Your macros, your calories, those have changed. So those have been sent out to you. And also a reminder, if you have not booked your scan, there's still a bunch of you who haven't. If you have not booked your second, that is your upcoming body analysis scan, please do so. www.calendly.com/train on Main. Day 22, we are approaching the third waypoint of the challenge, if you can believe it, 1/3 through. Yesterday, I talked about fasting. We talked a little bit about what constitutes fasting, how do we define fasting, the different levels of fasting we could say. Are we fasting 12 hours, 16 hours, 20 hours, 24 hours? We talked a little bit about autophagy, which is why a lot of people do fast. The eating up of dead cells, which is supposed to be very good for longevity and overall health. We also talked about how fasting is very good for giving essentially all of our organs, our digestive system, a really good break. It's also very good for enhancing our gut biome as well, and this is really, really important. And in fact, we're learning more and more about this. It seems like every day, the importance of gut biome and mental health. So that it definitely has its benefits. But I think when you were asking me, the person that asked me this, when you're asking me about fasting as a weight loss solution, it's not one that I recommend. And as I mentioned yesterday, there was a large meta-analysis done on this. More often than not, it leads to weight gain. Now, that's not to say that that's going to happen to everybody. Fasting might be a good solution for you. It might allow you to consistently eat less calories every single day, and so it's a better solution for you in terms of eating less energy. As an athlete, and I realize perhaps you're sitting here saying you're not an athlete. I don't compete anymore. Maybe I will in the future, but personally, I still train as though I'm an athlete. And I know that when I personally went through fasting, when I did some fasting, and I did one day of 24 hours. I did a long period of, when I say long period, I did a number of months where I was fasting 14, 15 hours. My performance in the gym went down. I just didn't have that. It wasn't I didn't have enough fuel, because I still made sure my calories were the same. But just going for that long extended period affected my recovery. And it makes sense because there just wasn't that influx of amino acids. There wasn't the protein coming in from the diet to be readily available over the course of 24 hours. So it affected my performance in the gym. So I don't recommend it if you're training as an athlete. Definitely not. It's going to affect your recovery for sure. I'm not just saying that because it affected my recovery. The data will suggest this, does suggest this. But as a general solution for people to lose weight, it might work for you. But as I mentioned, the most recent data on this, a meta-analysis, shows that this is not the case. For your friends that you mentioned that are fasting, I'm not sure what it means when it says they enjoy it, or I actually can't remember what your words were exactly. Let's take a look. They're promoting it. Okay, so if it works in whatever capacity for them, by all means do it. If a ketogenic diet works for you, by all means do it. Whatever works for you, I think, is important for you to follow. You know, as I've mentioned to you, the reason why I set out the challenge the way I did is to give you as much variety, to give you a lot of calories, etc. Obviously, to minimize the amount of exercise that you have to do, and all of that put together to show you that you can still lose body fat. So, I don't know if I answered your question in totality here. I realize I'm just touching on certain points. But as a weight loss solution, coming back to that, I don't suggest it. As a tool for internal health, as something to maybe do every now and then for a couple days or maybe a week, that is going through periods of fasting. So let's say maybe fasting every day for 16 hours or something, doing that for a week. Yeah, that might have some benefit, or even a 24-hour fast or longer perhaps. And again, how we define fasting, that's, as I talked about yesterday, that's a topic unto itself. So if you haven't tried it, you want to try it, go ahead and try it. But I would still suggest watching your overall calorie intake, because as that meta-analysis suggests, people were taking in more calories than what they were otherwise in that period of eating. So just keep that in mind. Okay, let's get to the message of the day. On this day 22, you can fast track weight loss. You can fast track it. You cannot fast track fat loss. You can't. You cannot fast track fat loss. And, just to prove my point here, you can easily lose, a good half amount of your body weight like that. You just cut off your limbs, your weight will be way less. Guaranteed. Now, obviously this is just silly, but I'm making my point. But in fact, you can fast track your weight loss. I've had to make weight for bodybuilding before, to make a bodybuilding class. And I lost, I know some of you already know this story, I lost 18 pounds in less than, or 19 pounds, 18 or 19 pounds in the span of about 20 hours. And of course that was just manipulation of water to make a weight class. Don't ever suggest you do something like that. You can manipulate your weight. What you can't, you can manipulate your weight very easily. What you cannot manipulate are your body fat levels. And this is what you care about. Ultimately, you may not know this, but ultimately it's really what you care about. It's what I would say the majority of people care about who are concerned with their physical appearance in terms of weight loss, okay, or weight gain for that matter. People are when we're talking about weight loss or weight gain, ultimately we are talking about body composition, in particular lean mass versus fat mass. You cannot fast track fat loss. So remember that. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. You need to be patient with this. Apply the right measures every single day and be consistent with it. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. See you guys.